friends, it's Amanda with Eat, Pray, Crunch, and I am sitting out here in my backyard on this beautiful 70-degree September afternoon, enjoying this last little breath of summer that we have left before it's gone. So you probably saw in my last video that starting October 1st, I am going to do the Whole30 challenge for the sake of weight loss and helping with my food allergies and inflammatory kind of issues. If you want to know the whole background behind all of that, please go on over and check that video. I will have that linked up here in the cards. But today I just wanted to do a quick video telling you what the rules of the Whole30 are, so that if any of you are thinking of doing it along with me, you can kind of get an idea of what it's about and why it works and that kind of thing. I don't want to make this a super long video, just kind of want to give you a nutshell. If you want to go into it in a lot more detail, you can go onto the Whole30 website, or you can, get the book from the library or buy the book, which has kind of the background in it, but it's mostly a book full of recipes. And I also got the book, it starts with food. It goes into a lot more depth about the reasoning behind, the science behind why the Whole30 works and everything. So basically, the Whole30 is really, really strict paleo. And the idea behind it is that you are removing all foods that cause inflammation in the body from your diet, strictly for 30 days. And the idea is that it is extremely strict, because if you, slip up on any one of these inflammatory foods, then it just causes your body to go back into that inflammatory cycle. As you guys know, I generally like to follow the 80-20 rule, and I have a whole video about what that is, and I'll have that linked here. And I think that's generally a healthy mentality to have, but I understand that why, when you are doing a healing diet that's for a short period of time, that it is pretty important to stay strict about it. That said, if you do make one little slip, or there's some ingredient that you didn't realize later on, I don't think that's a reason to completely give up and start over. Just, keep going. It's not that big of a deal. But from my understanding, for the 30 days, it's pretty important to stay pretty strict about it. So I just printed off the actual rules that are on the website. You can go to the Whole30 website yourself. I'll have that linked in the description. And I just wanted to make a video just saying what the basic rules and regulations are for this diet. The main idea and the reason why I loved it so much, and I talk about this in my introduction and background video, is that it's based on real food. And it's, you're not restricting yourself in terms of portions. It's just a lot of really nourishing, nutrient dense foods. And that is just right up my alley. That is what I believe in. I'm a believer in real food, traditional food, that kind of thing. And the principles in this mostly align with those principles that I generally follow most of the time anyway. It's a 30-day program, and so for the 30 days you are strictly avoiding the foods that I'll mention in a second, and they say that it's just for 30 days, so it's not the end of the world. You can do anything for 30 days. I was reading the website, they're like, losing a loved one is hard, giving birth is hard, but going on a strict diet for 30 days, that's not hard. We can do it, even though it requires some psychological discipline. And I believe that, and I think I can do it. I know it's going to be a challenge for me, but I have given birth naturally twice, so I'm like, if I can do that, I think I can handle doing this for 30 days, you know what I'm saying? So the foods to avoid are, main thing, sugar, any kind of added sugar, including any kind of artificial sweeteners. And this includes natural sweeteners, so you can't even have raw honey, no naturally sourced cane sugar. You can't even have the stuff that would be normally considered to be a little more natural and on the better side. You can't even do that. It's eliminating all concentrated added forms of sugar. You can't even use stevia. That one is going to be hard for me because we do use a lot of stevia. I put it in my coffee every day, but I'm going to have to give that one up as well. You're not allowed to consume any sort of alcohol of any kind, even from extracts and that kind of thing. No grains of any kind, even the gluten-free grains you're supposed to avoid, just all grains across the board. So no wheat, rye, barley, oats, corn, rice, millet, bulgur, sorghum, amaranth, buckwheat, or even sprouted grains, or even the pseudo grains. They said you can't even have quinoa, that kind of thing. So just across the board, eliminating all grains because they are often a source of inflammation for people. And then same with legumes. You're not allowed to have any legumes with the exception of green beans and like snap peas and snow peas and that kind of thing, because they're mostly pod and mostly green food, more so than bean. So, but for the most part, you're supposed to avoid beans and legumes, and that includes peanuts, peanut butter, because peanuts are a legume. The other big one is no dairy at all whatsoever, no cow dairy, no goat dairy, no derivatives of any kind of dairy. So this includes, whey, which is often an additive in a lot of foods, no cheeses. The only exception they allow you to make is ghee, which is clarified butter, which basically has all of the inflammatory proteins taken out of it. So they do allow ghee, although I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one, just because my recent blood test showed that I had an extremely high reaction to all dairy. So I'll probably just be using coconut oil. I'm basically avoiding processed food. No major additives, so no carrageenan. Carrageenan is actually a pretty widely known, widely studied inflammatory additive that they know of now. So no carrageenan, no MSG or sulfites. MSG is added to a lot of salty processed foods, and sulfites show up in a lot of like processed meats and that kind of thing. So you really have to read labels. The other final thing that you have to avoid is you can't try to recreate baked goods out of approved ingredients. So no doing like paleo baking. The whole point is to be resetting your habits and resetting your taste buds so that you aren't craving sweet things anymore. You're just not consuming very sweet things for the whole month to just reset your brain, reset your tastes. So when you go and make, paleo desserts and baked goods and that kind of thing, even though they are probably better for your body, this is about retraining your brain just as much as it is your body. I think it's really hilarious what it says on the website. Eating paleo desserts is like sex with your pants on. Their words, not mine. It's on the actual official website. You can go see it for yourself. I think that's pretty funny. And it really sticks in my brain because they put it that way. So they say one last and final rule, which isn't actually food directly related, is that you're not supposed to step on the scale or take measurements. I'm going to break that rule. I'm not going to be obsessive about it, but I am, maybe once a week, I am going to step on the scale because weight loss is one of my goals. I just want to make sure that I am staying on track. I feel like I'm already not obsessive about that in my life in general, so I feel like stepping on the scale once a week is going to be okay. So things that are okay to eat, like I said, the only exceptions, basically, ghee or clarified butter is the only exception to the dairy rule. You can use 100% fruit juice for sweetener, and it has to be like straight from fruit. And like I said, the exception for the legumes is the green beans and snow peas and that kind of thing. They allow vinegar and they allow natural salt, not iodized salt. So you can't get the, Morton stuff from the store, like sea salt, pink salt, that kind of thing that has lots of natural trace minerals in it, which are really good for your body anyway. So the thing that I like about this is that it's not counting calories. It's really doable. You can eat as much of the approved foods as you want until you feel full and satiated. I mean, obviously don't overeat because that's just like good habit to get into, to just eat until you're full and stop, but it's not restricting calories. So I really like that about this. It really makes it feel like it's going to be doable for me, that I can still eat until I'm full and not be starving all the time, because I think that's why a lot of people fall off the bandwagon on a lot of diets, is because they feel hungry all the time and then they splurge and give in to their cravings, and it's just a vicious cycle. So those are the main rules. So the things you can eat, it's basically you can follow, within those guidelines, it's basically you can follow paleo recipes. So lots of meats, lots of seafoods that they emphasize, and which I also very much believe in, which is why I love the Whole30 so much. Naturally sourced. You want pasture raised meats, wild caught seafood that are caught in known clean waters, that kind of thing. Heavy on the vegetables and light on the fruits. You are allowed to eat fruit, but going a little heavier on the vegetables than the fruit, because like I said, you're trying to retrain your brain to not be so addicted to sweet tasting things, and fruit can be really sweet. So same with dried fruit. You're allowed to have dried fruit, but in moderation. So it's basically just eating a lot of unprocessed real food that is not inflammatory to your body. So those are the main rules. If I missed anything, if you guys have done Whole30 and I missed something, be sure to put it in the comments down below. I will be putting up a video that is my plan for meal planning, since I hate meal planning and I've kind of come up with a way to achieve this Whole30 without it being something that requires a huge exorbitant amount of extra effort, you know, making it really doable. Stay tuned for that video. That will be coming up soon. And I will also be, aside from the Whole30, I will also be doing a video about what my exercise plans are. So stay tuned for that as well. And I also wanted to mention that this is a collaboration. Be sure to check out all of the lovely ladies who are also doing this collaboration in the description down below. Everybody is going about their weight loss journeys in different ways, and it's totally awesome to see all the different ways that people are doing it. So be sure to check their videos out as well. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you can follow the rest of this journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.